So here question is a cube is a cubic unit cell made up of three elements. Which three element? X, Y, Z. So a cubic system is made up of three elements X, Y, Z. Then where the atoms of X present? Atoms of X present at corners and center of unit cell. Next, atoms of Y present at edges. Atoms of Z present at center of each faces. Okay. So to know the molecular formula or simplest formula, we need to calculate number of particles per unit cell. So we calculate the number of particles per unit cell, that is X. So therefore tell me X equal to, so how many number of atoms per unit cell? Corners, there are 8 into 1 by 8. So total corners are 8, contribution is 1 by 8 plus center. There is only one center, contribution is 1, which is equals to 2. Next, Y atoms. So number of atoms of Y, atoms where the atoms of Y present? Edges. There are how many edges? 12 edges. What is the contribution of each edge? 1 by 4. It becomes 3. Next is Z. Atoms of Z present on each face. So there are how many faces?
6 faces.
A cube has 6 faces. So therefore 6 into, what is the contribution? 1 by 2, which is equals to 3. So therefore it is X2, Y3, Z3. So this is the simplest formula of crystal. Okay. Next, one more question. Write down. Right. A sodium metal crystallizes in BCC unit cell. A sodium metal crystallizes in BCC unit cell. BCC unit cell. Calculate the number of unit cell. Calculate the number of unit cell in 46 grams of sodium. In 46 grams of sodium. Right, this is another model question. Okay, see here what they have given data. Sodium metal. Sodium metal crystallizes in what? BCC, body centered cubic crystal. Since it is a crystallizes in BCC, what is the number of particle per unit cell is? 2. This is we know. Sodium BCC, therefore number of particle per unit cell is 2. Next, what you have to calculate? 46 grams of sodium, right? 46 grams of sodium has how many number of unit cell? So you have to calculate dash number of unit cells. Okay, you just tell me, is there any relation between mass and unit cell? Have you studied? There is no direct relation between what mass and unit cell, but we have relation between what? Number of particle and unit cell, right? So how, what is the relation? Sodium crystallizes in BCC, right? Therefore, since sodium crystallizes BCC, since sodium crystallizes in BCC, can we write 1 unit cell is equals to how many particle? 2 particle or 2 atoms, no? 1 sodium chloride has 2 atoms. Why? BCC. So therefore 1 unit cell equal to 2 atoms. This is we know. So therefore what we do is, this 46 grams of sodium convert into atoms by using Avogadro concept. So tell me, we know that the atomic mass of sodium is how much? 23. So what is the gram atomic mass? 23 grams. So atomic mass, gram atomic mass of sodium 23 grams. Therefore we know that 23 gram sodium is equals to 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Yes or no? Gram atomic mass always contain Avogadro number of atoms. Right. Therefore, 23 grams equal to these many atoms. That means mass is given, that mass is converted into atoms. Now take this relation. 1 unit cell equal to 2 atoms. Right. So therefore, or else 2 atoms equal to how many? 1 unit cell. You can write. But we have how many total atoms? We have Avogadro number of atoms. No, sorry. We have what they have given? 46 gram, no? Okay. 46 grams of sodium is equals to how many atom? It is a 2 into Na atoms, right? So we have 2 into Na atom. Therefore, 2 atoms equal to 1 unit cell. 2 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms equal to dash number of unit cell. Therefore, yes, this into this by this. So what is the answer? 2 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 into, okay, you can write Na also, no problem, into divided by 2. So which is equals to 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms, which is nothing but Na atoms. No, not atoms. Unit cell. Na unit cell. Answer is Na unit cell. Clear? Right, next question. Lithium crystallizes FCC. Lithium crystallizes in FCC lattice. Lithium crystallizes in FCC lattice. Calculate the number of unit cells. FCC lattice. Calculate the number of unit cells in 3.5 grams of lithium. Calculate the number of number of unit cells in 3.5 grams of lithium. Okay. Question number 3. Who said answer? What's your name? Pramod. Okay. Na by 2 answer. Okay, let's check. And tell me, lithium crystallizes, say, lithium crystallizes in FCC. It's clearly mentioned FCC. Then how much mass given? 3.5 grams. 3.5 grams of lithium equal to how many number of unit cells? So that is, we need to calculate number of unit cell. Okay. Say, to calculate unit cell, when mass is given, there are 2 steps. First step is, whatever the mass is given, convert into particles. Next, convert the particle into unit cell. So therefore, or else you can take step 1. Still, if you want to do in simple way, step 1, calculation of number of atoms or number of particles. Tell me, calculation of number of atoms or number of particle. Okay, so 3.5 grams given, no? Can you tell me what is atomic mass of the lithium? 7. Okay, 7 gram lithium is equals to how many atoms? You can take Avogadro number of atoms, right? But what is the question given? 3.5 grams. 3.5 grams lithium equal to how many atoms? So 3.5 into Na divided by 7, which is equals to 0.5 Na atoms it is. Okay, step 1. In step 1, we have calculated number of atom. In step 2, tell me, what is step 2? Calculation of number of unit cells. Okay, now you can calculate number of unit cells. How? It is given BCC, no? Sorry, FCC, no? Tell me. So, one unit cell has how many particles? 4. Therefore, can I write like this? 4 particles is equals to 1 unit cell for FCC. 4 particle equal to 1 unit cell, but how many particle, how many atoms we got? It is a 0.5 Na particles or Na atoms we got. Then how many unit cell? So this into this by this, right? Therefore 0.5 into Na into 1 divided by 4, which is equals to 1 to 5 Na unit cells. 1 by Na by 8. Okay. I hope it's clear now, right? Take another problem. Question number 4. Right on. Iron crystallizes in FCC unit cell. Iron crystallizes in FCC unit cell. FCC unit cell. Calculate the number of unit cells. Calculate the number of unit cells in 0.56 grams of iron. Calculate the number of unit cells in 0.56 grams of iron. Okay. Tell me, what is the step 1? Convert the mass into atoms. Very good. What is the second step? Convert the atom into unit cells. Yes or no? So therefore, step 1, calculation of number of atoms. Do it all of you. Calculation of number of atoms. The atomic mass of iron is 56, right? 56 grams. 56 grams iron equal to how many atoms? Na iron atoms. But 0.56 grams is equals to how many iron atom? 0.56 into Na by 56. It means 0.1 Na atoms. Zero point 0.01. Okay. Na atoms. What is the second step is? Calculation of unit cells. Calculation of unit cell. Since it is a FCC, iron crystallized FCC, no? So therefore 4 atoms equal to 1 unit cell. Then how many atoms we got there? 0.01 Na atoms equal to how many unit cell?
0.0025.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So in that way you can calculate number of unit cells from the given mass. Okay. So one more question, right? Arrange the following metals in the increasing order of metallic strength. Arrange the following metals. Following metals in the increasing order of metallic strength. Okay. Now there are 3 metals given. Among 3 metals, which metal has highest metallic strength and why? So this is also we have studied metallic bond, right? And moreover, it's a basic question only. Now tell me, metallic bond strength in D block we study in detail. Metallic bond strength. Metallic bond strength depends on 2 factors. One is number of free electrons, right? The metals which is having more number of valence electron, more number of free electron, which can form stronger metallic bond, right? Second factor, metallic bond strength also depends on charge, that is a positive charge. Wherever or whichever metal has highest positive charge, right, that has more metallic bond strength. Can you tell me? So here magnesium can form magnesium plus 2, aluminum plus 3, calcium plus 2. So among this, which one has more number of valence electron? Aluminium. Since aluminium has more number of valence electron and moreover more positive charge, stronger metallic bond, right? So metallic bond strength is depends on number of valence electron and positive charge of the metal ion. Therefore aluminum has highest, Al plus 3. Okay, next is among calcium and magnesium. So among calcium, magnesium, which one has highest or strongest metallic bond? Do you remember calcium, magnesium belongs to same group or different group? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. They belongs to same group. So all these elements belongs to same group. They are having same number of valence electron. So magnesium has 2 valence electron. Even calcium also has 2 valence electron. Then how to compare which one has more metallic bond strength? Then metallic bond strength also depends on size. Okay. Say metallic bond strength depends on attractions, no? Attraction. If ion magnesium has smaller size, 2 magnesium, 2 calcium, tell me in which case they have stronger force of attraction? In case of smaller ion, right? If the size increases, usually if the size increases, what happen? The attraction between this cation, this positive charge, this electron decrease, no? So therefore due to larger size, metallic bond strength is decreases. Therefore which is larger in size? Calcium. Which is smaller? Magnesium. So therefore magnesium greater than calcium. Okay. So what is the hint here? So hint is metallic bond strength directly proportional to number of valence electron. Next, metallic bond strength is inversely proportional to size. When size increases, metallic bond strength is decreases. That is van der Waal. See, in case of classification, we have studied van der Waal force of attraction increases with increasing size. Is it van der Waal or electrostatica? Electrostatic. We are studying about electrostatic. So that was van der Waal. Van der Waal bonds ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, but van der Waal bond is a very weak bond, very weak force of attraction that cannot be taken consideration. Okay, so this is different. Okay, fine. So these are the different questions can be appeared possible questions. Okay. ನೋಡಿ, as concerned chemistry, if you study my notes, ಭಾಳ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ 100% ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. You need not to worry about, need not to study anything. You just go through the notes 3-4 times. ಅದನ್ನೇ see concept I am giving even some questions also. That's enough, right? So you read thoroughly first notes instead of material and all. You study material later. Okay. So next is finished. Right, next, right? Calculation of length of face diagonal line and length of cube diagonal line. Cube diagonal also called body diagonal line. So calculation of length of face diagonal and body diagonal line. Okay. Right. So calculation of length of face diagonal line. Let's see first face diagonal line. What is face diagonal line? Face diagonal line, it is imaginary line which connect two opposite faces on face. If I take, it is one face, right? On this face, take that corner and this corner, right? So two opposite corner can be connected by one imaginary line which is called face diagonal line. So here also, here to there, this is also one more face diagonal line. Tell me, this cube has total how many faces? 6 faces. So total how many face diagonal line? 12. Very good. There are total 12 face diagonal line. Now we need to calculate what is the length of this face diagonal line in cube. Okay. So therefore, let us draw the cube. Take down. Draw the cube. Okay, it is a cube, and I'll take, this is one face and diagonal line. Okay, now we need to calculate the length of this face diagonal line, right? Do you remember, in case of FCC, on this diagonal line there are how many particles? 3 particles. Yes or no? In FCC, there will be a 3 particles on this diagonal line. Now tell me, let us take, it is a ABC triangle. Tell me, in the triangle ABC, we know this is the edge length, this is also edge length, AA. Now let us take, this is a B. So therefore, according to Pythagoras theorem, b square is equals to a square plus a square. Then b square equal to 2a square. B equal to, so that is a into root 2. Where what is the b equal to? Nothing but it is a length of face diagonal line. Therefore, length of face diagonal line equal to a into root 3, where what is a equal to? Edge length. Okay. Next, similarly, body diagonal line. But before going body diagonal line, now tell me, let us continue this only. Yeah, it is on face, there are 3 particles are present on face diagonal line. So this arrangement is appeared where in FCC. So therefore, in FCC, 3 particles are present on there are face diagonal line. It means there are 3 particles are present on face diagonal line, wherein FCC, right? So therefore, now I want, what is the edge length in FCC? What is the radius of particle FCC? And what is the internuclear distance? I want these 3. First one is, let us take edge length. Come on, tell me. What is the edge length in FCC? So edge length here, we know that it is a, So what we written, b coordinate is, yeah, b equal to a into root 2, right? This b equal to, you tell me, it is a length, right? This b equal to, can we write it is a radius, and here also one more radius, here also radius, it is also radius. Therefore this b equal to what? 4r, because there are 3 particles are present. Since b equal to 4r, can I write 4r equal to a into root 2? So therefore then a equal to 4r by root 2. If you still simplify, what do you get? A equal to 2 root 2 r. This is edge length in FCC. Okay, next is radius of particle. Radius of particle in FCC. So can you calculate radius of the particle again from edge length? A equal to 2 root 2 r. Then I want r equal to, tell me, 2 root 2 by, sorry, a by, sorry, 2 root 2. Yes or no? You have to remember. Right? Edge length and radius of particle. Next is one more, internuclear distance. Okay, so what is the internuclear distance in FCC? Internuclear distance. Right. That is denoted by r plus plus r minus, nothing but the distance between cation, anion, or distance between positive and negative ion. So what is the distance between cation and anion? Tell me. For example, let us take, if corner particle is anion, you just imagine, if corner particle is anion, it is also anion, it must be what? Cation. That is how an arrangement. If corner particle is cation, this particle is must be anion. Usually that will be there. If corner particles are cation, it is anion. If corner particles are anion, this is a cation. Okay, let me take corner particles are anion. Okay, anion. Therefore it is cation. If it is a anion, it is what? R minus, radius of negative ion. It is radius of anion, radius of cation, radius of cation. So therefore you take this formula, 4r equal to a into root 2, right? Then this 4r equal to what? It is r minus, right here, r plus, r plus. So therefore 4r can be written 2r plus 2r minus, which is equals to a into root 2. Then take 2 common, r plus plus r minus, which is equals to a into root 2. But actually what we want? R plus plus r minus equal to a into root 2 by 2. Important. This is called internuclear distance between cation and anion in FCC. Clear? Understand? Next, calculation of length of body diagonal line. Let us see, next is length of body diagonal line. Body diagonal line, nothing but cube diagonal line. So let us take a cube. Okay, cube. A cube has total how many body diagonal lines? 4. How many face diagonal lines? 12. Okay. Now I will take, this is a one corner, it is opposite corner, right? Two corner, connected by imaginary line. That imaginary line must be passes through the origin, that is what? Center. Okay. Do you remember? On this body diagonal line, there will be again 3 particle. That is a which kind of structure? Which structure it is? BCC. Very good. BCC. Which form? Nothing but PCC, body centered cubic crystal. Right? Now therefore, now we want to calculate what is the length of this body diagonal line. Let us take, it is a B, we want C, D, E, F. Okay, enough. Tell me now. A, B, C, D, E, F. Take G, H. All right. Now tell me, we want this length. No. Can you calculate directly this length? How do you calculate? 4, yeah, 4 are that okay. But no, this length related to edge length. You cannot calculate. Therefore, you calculate first this length. Why? This is A, it is A, it is B. So therefore, B square equal to this. Tell me, A square plus A square. Then B square equal to 2A square. That means this length B can be calculated. Once you calculate this length, you can calculate this or not? Because in the triangle, this no. And tell me, what is this triangle? Tell me. It is a AGH. Right. In the triangle AGH, you can calculate this. Now, in the triangle, tell me, in the triangle I want this ACG. In the triangle ACG, come on, tell me. I want this, I will take C. So therefore, tell me, C square equal to, this is A square plus B square. Then C square equal to A square. Then B square equal to what? 2A square. Then C square equal to 3A square. Then C equal to A root 3. Where, what is the C? C is nothing but length of body diagonal line. So therefore, length of body diagonal line is equals to length of body diagonal line equal to A into root 3. Right? Now tell me, among face diagonal line, body diagonal line, which length is more? Face diagonal line is A into root 2. What is the body diagonal line? A root 3. Which is more? That means, obviously no. This length of the body diagonal line is always more than the length of the face diagonal line. So therefore, write conclusion. Length of body diagonal line is greater than length of face diagonal line. Length of the body diagonal line is greater than length of face diagonal line. Okay. Next, In body diagonal line, so that is in particularly BCC. In BCC, 3 particles are present where on the body diagonal line. Right on. In BCC, 3 particles are present on body diagonal line. 3 particles present on body diagonal line. Of course, these 3 particles touches to each other. Remember, all 3 are touches to each other. So therefore, now we want to calculation of edge length. Edge length of where? BCC. Calculation of edge length in BCC. Tell me, in BCC what is edge length? So now we know that C equal to A into root 3. Now what is the C equal to here? C equal to 4R, no? Why? This is radius, here to here again radius, here to here radius, again here to here is radius. R, that is 4R. Therefore, C equal to 4R, 4R equal to A into root 3, but actually we want A equal to, tell me, 4R by root 3. Okay. So this is edge length in BCC. Next, calculation of radius of particle in BCC. Calculation of radius of particles in BCC. Tell me. So what is the radius of particle? Where R equal to radius of particle? So where R equal to A root 3 by 4. Next, finally, calculation of internuclear distance. Internuclear distance in where? BCC. So calculation of internuclear distance in BCC. Tell me. So what is internuclear distance? I'll write here. That is a R plus plus R minus is called internuclear distance. Now tell me, suppose if it is a BCC, how the particles are arranged in BCC? If corner particles are occupied by the cation, center particle is anion. If the corner particles are anion, center particle is cation. The best example is cesium chloride. Cesium chloride is BCC, no? In cesium chloride, corner particles are cesium. Cl. It is a Cl. This is what? Cl. And center particle is cesium. Usually, cations is a center particle, anions are corner particles. Okay. This arrangement may changes, but usually like this. Particularly cesium chloride is this only. In cesium chloride, anions are corners, cation is center. Now tell me, if this is the arrangement, it is a radius of anion. This is a radius of cation. It is also radius of cation. This is radius of anion. So therefore, can I take 4R? This 4R equal to what? So 4R equal to 2R plus 2R minus, which is equals to what? A root 3. Then take 2 common, there is a radius of cation plus radius of anion equal to A into root 3. Then we want radius of cation, radius of anion, which is equals to, tell me, A into root 3 by 2. Important. You have to remember, question comes directly. They will give the A value, they expect internuclear distance. Okay. Finished? Next, right. Next is calculation of distance between two adjacent face center and edge center. Calculation of distance between two adjacent face center and two adjacent edge center. Okay, let us draw the cube. Right, it is a cube. Tell me, in cube we need to calculate distance between two adjacent face center. You take, this is one face, okay, and that is another face. Now here, center of this face, center of that face, we need to calculate the distance. It means, I'll show here. Take, this is a one face center, it is another face center. Okay, so what is the distance between these two faces? It means we want this distance. How do you calculate? Take the triangle. Yes. Okay, and tell me now. Now here it is, this is edge, no? From edge to center is what? A by 2. Why is A by 2? This edge length is what? A. Therefore, this is also A by 2. Now take, this is a B. Okay. So therefore, the distance between two adjacent face center B equal to, so you can use again Pythagoras theorem. It is a by 2 whole square plus A by 2 whole square. Then B equal to 2A by 2 whole square. Okay. So B equal to, it's B square, sorry, B square, no, B square. Okay. Yeah. B equal to now, it is, tell me. Only A by root 2. So B equal to, it is a, this become root 2, right? Into, this is A by 2. So therefore, B equal to A by root 2. Entry mathematics is to so therefore, the distance now between these two center is B equal to how much? A by root 2. Now similarly, what is the distance between two adjacent edges, center of edge? Take, this is one edge, okay, take another edge, that. Now there to there, anything, or here to here, here to there. That is same, very good, same. See, for example, take, this is one edge, take, this is another edge. Now I want this distance. Tell me again, same, no? This is A by 2, it is A by 2, take B, same way. So therefore, write down, distance between two adjacent edge center equal to A by root 2. A by root 2. Finish? Okay. Next is types of crystal system. Types of crystal system. See, based on we have studied based on particle arrangement, unit cells are classified how many types? Two types. So based on particle arrangement, unit cells are two types. One is a simple, second one is centered. Okay. Next we have another classification is unit cell is usually a unit cell is characterized by two parameters. Yes or no? A given unit cell is characterized by two parameters. It means you can identify the unit cell based on two parameters. What are those parameters? One is a edge length, second one is axial angle. Axial length, axial angle. So therefore, if it is a unit cell, okay, if this is a unit cell, it should be characterized by two parameters. One is a edge length. You can take it is edge length A, edge length B, edge length C. So therefore, a given unit cell is characterized by two parameters. One, edge length. What is edge length? The distance between two corners. Two adjacent corners. The distance between two adjacent corner or two adjacent corner or these two adjacent corners, also called what? Edge length. Next is axial angle. What is axial angle? The angle between two adjacent edges. This is one angle, you can take alpha. This is another angle, it is beta. You can take it is a beta. It is another angle, you can take gamma. Therefore, the angle between two adjacent edges is a what? Axial angle. It is denoted by alpha, beta, gamma. Therefore, based on these two parameters, there are 7 types of unit cells, right? So therefore, based on edge length and axial angle, so unit cells are further classified into 7 types. Okay, and there are 7 types of unit cell and 14 lattices are possible. For 7 type, 14 lattices are possible. Those 14 lattices are called what? Bravais lattice. They are called Bravais lattice. Okay, right down. A unit cell is characterized by two parameters. A unit cell is characterized by two parameters. One, edge length. Two, axial angle. Right, edge length over axial length. Edge length over axial length. The distance between two adjacent corners. The distance between two adjacent corners called edge length. The distance between two adjacent corners called edge length. It is denoted by ABC. It is denoted by ABC. Small a, small b, small c. Next is axial angle. The angle between two adjacent edges the angle between two adjacent edges called axial angle, it is denoted by alpha beta gamma. Next, based on these two parameters, next point, right? Based on these two parameters, unit cells are classified into 7 types. And 14 lattices are possible, and 14 lattices are possible. They are called Bravais lattice. Okay, so based on two parameters, edge length and axial angle, there are 7 type of crystal systems are there. Okay, first one is cubic, second one tetragonal, orthorhombic, next is hexagonal, then trigonal also called rhombohedral, next monoclinic, triclinic. See here how to remember this. See here important, let's say what important things. Question may be given based on possible variation. But here there was one question previously appeared in JEE. In which of the following crystal system having only one crystal lattice or crystal variation? That is a one triclinic, then trigonal, and one more is hexagonal. So hexagonal, trigonal, triclinic, these 3 crystals having only one crystal variation, that is simple, primitive, right? Next, which of the following crystal system has 2 possible variations? Tetragonal, primitive, body centered. Any other? Monoclinic, that is primitive and end centered. Or which of the following has primitive end centered? That is monoclinic. So by giving variations, they may expect crystal system. By giving crystal system, they may expect variations. That means you need to remember all these variations. Okay, next, another question. By giving edge length and axial angle, they may expect which type of crystal system? Question is like this. In a crystal system, axial length A equal to B equal to C, axial angle alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90. Which of the following crystal system is possible? Cubic. It means they will give these 2 parameters. By giving these 2 parameters, they expect any one of this crystal. Okay, or by giving directly hexagonal or any one of the crystal system, they may expect what are the parameters. For example, hexagonal. For hexagonal, what is the axial length, axial angle possible? Axial lengths are A equal to B but not equal to C. Here alpha beta 90, gamma is 120. Okay, this is another question. One more question. By giving directly type of crystal system or type of unit cell, they may expect example. In JEE they asked potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate crystal, the crystal exists in which of the following crystal type of system? Triclinic. Okay, that's what there are many questions can be framed. Okay, this is very important. You have to by heart. It comes by only practice. Yavadu neglect madangilla. Everything you have to memorize. Okay, and apart from that, there are 3 more important questions. First question: among 7 type of crystal system, there is a one crystal system is most symmetrical. Tell me, which is a most symmetrical crystal system? Cubic. That means cube is a most symmetrical. Why this is the most symmetrical? A equal to B equal to C. All three axial lengths are equal, and all axial angles are equal. Right? So therefore, cube is a most symmetrical crystal system. One more question. Which is a most unsymmetrical crystal system? Triclinic. So triclinic is most unsymmetrical. Why it is most unsymmetrical? A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C. Alpha not equal to beta, beta not equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90. Therefore, cube is a most symmetrical, triclinic is a most unsymmetrical. One more. Matchbox has which type of crystal system? Orthorhombic. That means matchbox resembles orthorhombic. How? So matchbox, no? In matchbox, you just imagine it is like this, no? Yes or no? In matchbox, edge length, there are 3 edge lengths, no? Edge length 1, 2, 3. Whether 3 edge lengths are equal or unequal? Matchbox alli 3 edge lengths are equal or unequal? 3 are unequal alva. Idu bere length bere irutte, idu length bere irutte, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ length bere irutte. That means 3 lengths are unequal. A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C. Of course, A is not equal to C also. Right? So 3 edge lengths are different. Then what about angles? 90 irutte. So therefore, A equal to B, B equal to C, but alpha not equal to C, alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90, which is orthorhombic. So therefore, this orthorhombic structure just resemble with the matchbox. Okay, these more questions important. Write down question. Take note. Take a note. Cubic system is most symmetrical crystal system. Cubic system is most symmetrical crystal system. Most symmetrical crystal system because what? Because A equal to B, B equal to C, and alpha equal to beta, beta equal to gamma, which is equals to 90 degree. Next, triclinic is most unsymmetrical crystal system. Triclinic is most unsymmetrical crystal system because A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C, and alpha not equal to beta, beta not equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90 degrees. One more. Matchbox resemble orthorhombic crystal structure. Matchbox resemble orthorhombic crystal structure. Orthorhombic crystal structure because A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C, A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C, but alpha equal to beta, beta equal to gamma equal to 90 degrees. Okay, right? Then